You cannot be a dentist, I think, if you're not a good person kasi you are taking care of the sick.
Yeah.
So you really need to have that character, especially pag endodontist ka, right? Because we take care of a lot of people who are in pain. Yan ang tatak natin eh. Pag masakit ang ngipin, endodontist. So you have to listen, and sometimes para ka na ring therapist.
Uh-huh.
Yung ngipin, marami na napagdaanan yan bago dumating sa amin, right? Sumakit, napastahan, na kung ano-anong nagawa, namaga, bago dumating sa amin. So, we really have to empathize with the patient, and it's not only that, we need to be very thorough and clear about our explanation to them on what we can do to help them. So, it takes a good character, I think.
Welcome to Safe Space Connects. We're bringing together the brightest minds in dentistry to explore the art and science of the oral world. So open wide and enjoy listening. Ang guest natin ngayon ay hindi lang basta dentista, isa siyang diplomat of American Board of Endodontics mula sa San Francisco, UK, Japan, at ngayon nandito na siya sa Pilipinas. Dala niya ang kanyang world-class expertise sa pagliligtas ng mga ipin. Siya din ay isang CEO ng Apex Care Dental Center at isang professorial lecturer sa University of the East. Let's all welcome Dr. Jonna Galicia.
Hello, kamusta?
Hi, Doc.
Kamusta sa lahat?
Ah,
Nice to see you again.
it's nice to see you. So, Dr. Jonah is a well-known dentist here, not only in the Philippines,
Naks.
pati sa ibang bansa.
Thank
So,
you, thank you.
napakaswerte ng mga makikinig ngayon na makilala ang taong ito. So, a little bit about yourself, Doc. Can you tell us about your journey from where you came from and paano ka naging endodontist?
All right. So, first of all, kamusta sa lahat? And nice to see you again, Doc. So, I'm a native of Romblon here in the Philippines, and I got interested in dentistry because yung auntie ko is a dentist. So, I got inspired by her. And after finishing dental school, I did 2 years of dental practice and part-time teaching sa MCU that time. And then during that tenure that I had at MCU, I had the opportunity to go to France to do 1 year of studies there. And right after that, I came back for maybe a few months, and then dumiretso na ako sa Japan to do PhD for 5 years. And then tuloy-tuloy na. So after Japan, I went to the US to do postdoctoral training, at saka doon na rin ako nag-interest talaga sa endodontics kasi ang dami kong na-meet na mga well-known na mga endodontists. Siguro swerte lang ako because the school where I was, the University of Pennsylvania at that time, napakadaming mga endodontists there that did so many work and contributions to the endodontics world. So I got inspired by them. And so I did a postdoctoral, master's, and certificate of advanced dentistry training in endodontics at University of North Carolina in Chapel Hill. And right after that, I had the opportunity to work there, of course, for almost 10 years. In San Francisco naman ito. And there I did clinical practice in endodontics in San Francisco. I also taught and became the program director ng endodontics residency program at the University of Pacific. And then during the pandemic, medyo alam naman natin nangyari, di ba? Umiba ang mga priorities ng mga tao. So I thought maybe I should see more of the world. So I went to the UK in London at the University College of London, Eastman Dental Institute, where I served as an endodontist and a director of the program in endodontics there for a little over a year. And after that, I realized na parang gusto ko na bumalik sa Philippines kasi ang dami ko nang ginawa abroad. So it's time to come over here. I never really had the opportunity to work a lot here and to meet a lot of people. So I came back in 2022 and then things got really better for me here kasi na-meet kita. Na-meet ko si Joanne, our friend, and I had reconnected with so many people here, friends, specialists, and so far it's going well. Akala ko nga sadali lang ako rito but look at me now. From 2022 to 2026, it's been, 4 years? And it's going strong. Salamat din sa'yo ha. Ang dami nating activities together. So, yun. Medyo mahaba-haba, pero pinaikli lang natin.
The way that I met Dr. Jonah was through our friend Joanne. So I
Yes.
wanted to um, get a speaker for Safe Space that has a teachable spirit as well. Yun yung number one iniisip ko when I get a special lecturer or speaker. Sino kaya ang makakapagturo sa next generation or kahit sa mga bihasa na. So I wanted someone na approachable. I wanted someone who'd be open to sharing their skills and knowledge. So imagine natin si Doc Jonah. He has been traveling all over the world. Tapos ngayon bumabalik ka sa Pilipinas. So ilang taon ka, Doc, sa abroad?
Mahaba-haba. I've been, the first time I left was in 1999.
Wow.
And then I've been coming back and forth since then. So, 20s, over almost 20 years. Doon ako tumanda.
But you had fun, definitely.
I had fun, definitely. Work hard, play harder tayo.
Listening from him, he had a lot of mentors. So now that you're already a mentor to a lot of starting Filipino dentists and also practicing dentists, para sa mga nakikinig, linawin muna natin, ano
Okay.
ba ang pagkakaiba ng isang endodontist sa karaniwang dentista o sa iba, sa mga orthodontist or implantologist?
Alright. Para maging isang endodontist, dapat na normally, right, you will need additional years of studies. 2 years or additional 3 years. Ang program dito sa Philippines, in order for you to become an endodontist, is a 3-year full-time program para mabihasa ka and ma-separate mo yung practice mo sa isang specific field. Like for example, ako endodontics, I only work with doing root canal treatment, also anything that has to do with saving the tooth, so apical microsurgery to remove infection from the tooth, and also management ng trauma. That is what separates me from, for example, orthodontists where they specialize in aligning the teeth, making sure your occlusion is great. So yon, you need additional years of formal studies and training in an educational and clinical setting. And you receive your master's or clinical certificate degree after, let's say, 24 or 36 months.
So we have schools already who are offering.
Yes, University of the East, we have that. And they have been operating and offering master's programs since, almost 10 years? Sorry, din ko mali. Din Biloria ko mali. Pero 10 years or more na. Na-stop lang during the pandemic, but now it's continuing. And we have a very good set of residents who will also be a part of, hopefully, the teaching group here in the Philippines of endodontic specialists who are willing to teach and mentor young dentists.
So maganda kay Dr. Galicia, pag siya yung nagiging lecturer, napupuno yung yung workshop or yung seminar. So he could fill like a room with 100, 500, ano yung pinakamalaking capacity kasya ang mga dentista. Kasi sobrang dali mong maintindihan. Yun ang maganda doon. So, one question, Doc. Sa panahon ngayon, nagiging disposable na lahat. So, even pati ipin. Bakit pa rin tingin mo importante i-save ang ipin, Doc?
Yes, kasi alam naman natin na nothing beats natural sa lahat ng bagay. At kapag nandyan yung natural tooth, siyempre nandyan yung tinatawag natin na immune system na intact. Kasi yung natural teeth, may blood circulation sa loob. Pag may blood circulation, may immune cells, they are able to protect the body from infection. And also, yung paligid ng ngipin, merong tinatawag naming periodontal support that acts as a cushion and also a tactile sensation and proprioception, kaya alam natin kung medyo matigas yung kinakagat natin, okay? At saka pinoprotektahan niya yung ating mga ngipin para hindi maging destructive sa buto kasi meron siyang cushioning effect then. So natural is quite good. As much as possible, we want everything to be natural because we consider the teeth as part of your entire body that you want to keep for life. And yan ang purpose ng endodontics. You want to keep the tooth in the patient's mouth.
Paano natin ma-save ang ipin?
Maraming paraan yan. Unang-una, of course, pangalagaan muna natin ang ngipin. Prevention is better than cure. Okay, number 1 yan. So, starting from childhood, dinadala na natin yung mga anak natin sa dentista to do fluoridization, Paste and Fissure sealant, proper toothbrushing, flossing, para naman mas mura ang maintenance kesa treatment. So, pag kailangan talaga ng treatment, okay, we could do, of course, root canal treatment kung nagkakaroon na ng infection instead na bunutin yung ngipin para mapanatili natin ang ating natural teeth sa ating bibig.
So ngayon na makikita natin na prevention pa rin up to now. We keep
Exactly.
on insisting our patients na it's better na before you get pain or bago may sumakit sa ipin, you go to the dentist. Dahil kaming mga dentista, we try our very best, 'di ba? We try our
Exactly,
very best to
yes.
save the tooth. But if you go to the dentist na having infection,
Mm.
'di ba? It would end up you would be losing the tooth. Honest answer, Doc.
Yes.
When you say, pag tinatanong ng mga pasyente mo, from 1 to 10, gaano ba kasakit ang injection? Lagi natin sinasabi,
Mm.
parang kagat lang yan ng
Yes.
langgam, Doc.
Marami na tayo yung technology na to make the injection much more less painful. Like we use smaller size ng mga needles, okay, mga techniques na bago. Ang root canal treatment, walang pagkakaiba yan sa sakit na mararamdaman niyo kapag nakatanggap kayo ng injection from pasta, for example. Okay? Karamihan ng mga tao nagsasabi na ang sakit ng root canal. Usually, ito yung mga tao na narinig lang na hindi talaga nagkaroon ng pagkakataon na makareceive ng root canal treatment. And this is based on a survey by the American Association of Endodontists. Most people who describe na the root canal treatment is painful are perceived ideas. Natanggap nila sa ibang tao. Pero yung mga tao mismo na receive ng root canal treatment from people who actually know how to do it, they are more likely to describe the procedure as painless or the same level of discomfort or pain that you would receive from similar procedures like receiving a restoration or pasta.
So sa mga Pilipino kasi, ang dami pa rin natatakot no?
Yes.
Oo, sana matanggal sa kanila yung fear na yon.
Campaign.
So, oo. So, when you say, pag may pasyente ba, Dok, nakakatakot ba yan? Anong sinasabi mo?
Mas matakot ka kapag wala kang ngipin. Number 1. Pangalawa, of course, you gain their trust. I-explain mo sa kanila yung mga bagay-bagay regarding root canal in a very understandable manner. And saka, kasi ang karamihan takot kasi ng mga tao, the fear of the unknown kung ano yung mangyayari. But if you explain to them clearly, you tell them, okay, when we do the root canal treatment, you are also in control of the procedure. If there's anything na medyo hindi ka komportable, raise your hand and we will address your concern right away. Usually, people really respond positively to that.
So, talagang kailangan maintindihan nung, pasyente 'no, that
Hmm.
you have to explain very well
Yes,
on,
communication.
communication is really essential when you do the procedure. So,
Right.
sa mga nakikinig diyan, talagang, ah, we mean, na hindi talaga dapat katakutan ang endodontics, right,
Yes,
or root
yes,
canal.
yes.
Minsan wala pa sila sa clinic, naiisip nila
Mm.
ano na, eh.
Ang misconception din kasi sa endodontics, masakit. When in fact, ang ginagawa namin mga endodontists, we relieve pain.
Hmm,
We don't cause pain, right? Pag pumunta sa ang pasyente sa amin, usually may magana, right? Masakit ng ngipin
mm.
because hindi na practice ng maayos yung oral health care. So, pagdating sa amin, we try to relieve pain. Pag if we
Yeah.
do root canal treatment, that's our goal actually, to relieve pain. So, we are trained to do that,
Mhm.
how to properly manage pain. Different methods, by using different methods, not only anesthetics.
Mhm.
Ngayon nga, ginagamit na yung acupuncture, hypnosis, things like that to help the patient cope.
So, what do you think is the difference from doing the root canal treatment noon compared to doing the root canal treatment ngayon?
Ngayon,
Yes.
okay. So, sa mga lectures ko, sinasabi ko nga lagi, marami ng technologies ngayon na nag-improve. It's not your lola's root canal anymore. Yeah, it's not your grandma's root canal anymore. For example, before, wala pa tayong technology na pwedeng makita ang loob ng ngipin. Ngayon, meron na tayong CBCT scan where we could, hindi na blind procedure ang root canal. You could see what you are dealing with and you could plan accordingly.
Yes.
Yung ating diagnostics have improved so much. Ngayon nga, gumagamit na tayo ng AI
Yes.
for a very accurate diagnosis and interpretation ng CBCT. We have 3D imaging where you are an expert, where you could prepare your surgery beforehand so to reduce yung pain, suffering, length of the procedure, to make everything much more easier, not only for you but for the patient also.
So when you keep on telling your students or the dentists the importance of diagnostics, how can you say that you are very it's very important and you would want to make it relevant to their practices? How would you tell your dentists to do that?
Right. Diagnosis is key.
Mm-hmm.
Without diagnosis, you really cannot do treatment. Importante yan. So, pag mali ang diagnosis mo, mali ang treatment mo. Pag mali ang treatment mo, kawawa yung pasyente.
Oo.
And you are setting yourself up for future litigation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, dapat, unang-una, tayo mga, not only endodontists, but dentists, we should be very good diagnosticians. Yan ang number one. Okay? Kaya, clinical diagnostics, very important. Sinasabi ko sa kanila, bago nyo tingnan yung radiograph, clinical exam nyo muna and then use the radiograph to confirm your findings.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that you write everything down, take a good history, interview the patient really well, be a good listener, use whatever you have learned in my lectures or your studies on how to properly perform diagnostic testing. Kasi it's the key. Wrong diagnosis, wrong treatment. And root canal treatment, pag nagkamali ka dyan, not only root canal but in general, it's so hard to go back.
Yes, true.
It can be an
Ayaw
irreversible.
mong magsisi sa huli.
Exactly.
So, being a global expert, Doc, ano yung mga game-changing trends na nakikita mo sa endodontics ngayon?
Static and dynamic navigation using 3D imaging when you do surgery. Nandyan din yung nanoparticles in order to prevent or manage infection and tissue regeneration. Nandyan din yung virtual reality, yung training ng mga estudyante at saka ng mga experts in order for them to develop their skills before they do the actual procedure. Okay, sa endodontics, AI and of course yung ngayon na usong-uso since I was a student, yung regenerative endodontics.
Wow.
And we're trying to regrow the tooth. Hopefully, medyo malayo pa tayo siguro sa actual teeth. But this is being done in other countries like Japan, Canada, the USA. And hopefully, dumating na yung time na yon, siguro hindi naman tayo mawawalan ng trabaho diyan, di ba? Pero it's considered as a triumph of humanity pag naging if we're able to grow teeth and pulp tissue.
Mhm.
So marami ngayon na mga research about that, at saka mga if you read the journals, the papers, yung regeneration, nanoparticles, AI, that really affects our diagnosis and treatment protocols.
So, ngayon, dahil ang dami mo nang napuntahang countries, you've been traveling all over, what can you say yung pinagkakaiba or pagkakaiba sa pag-express ng mga pasyente pag sinasabi nilang may dental anxiety sila? May
Okay.
cultural difference ba sila sa pag-aaray or pagsasabi ng aray?
Cultural and gender difference, right? Pag sinabi natin culture, Filipinos, we are very nice people. So we don't want to hurt. We want to protect other people's feelings. Usually kapag medyo mas masakit na, you still try to be very cordial, right? Which is, and in a way, good and bad kasi as a provider, gusto mong malaman yung actual na nararamdaman ng pasyente so that you could improve your care
Yeah.
to them.
Mhm.
Yung mga, of course, the other cultures, in other cultures, hindi na ako babanggit, they're very straightforward.
Yes.
Right? And even before they have the treatment, they have some sort of idea already what they want to receive. Sa tayong mga Filipinos, we're very, I think, polite in a way that we try to be, to really, maging maingat sa ating mga expressions when it comes to sa tingin natin ma-offend. Pag sinabi ng, aray dok, ang sakit, parang feeling natin, may hurt natin yung tao na gumagawa sa atin ng mga professionals, right?
Oo.
Sa gender naman, this is research-based. Women are more likely to report pain and anxiety than men. Yung mga macho, yung mga lalaki, ayaw nila, parang nakakabawas sa masculinity yung
Aha.
magsabi ng masakit, yeah, mahirap.
Pero do you believe mas matapang sino? Would it be a woman
Depende.
or a man
Ang
when
mga
it comes
ang mga
to...
lalaki takot sa dugo in general, in my opinion, kasi women are so used to seeing blood when they deliver babies, right? When they have their monthly period. So parang part na yan ng kanyang existence. Men are not like that. Makikita mo yung mga minsan nga akala mo ang lalaking taong tatangkad, sila pa yung takot. Okay? So this is my personal observation, hindi ko alam yun sa iba, but this is just my personal opinion.
So we all know that you have a stellar career
Nako.
abroad. Ano yung mga bansa? UK, US.
I started in France.
Sa
This is,
France.
yeah.
Oh. Bakit mo piniling bumalik sa Pilipinas?
Yun nga, number one is I would like to try to work here and really teach, because I don't want to be 65 and say, what if I went back to the Philippines during that time? I never really experienced to work here. And yung sinasabi ko nga dati, I never thought that I'd last here 1 year. Pero I've been here 4 years. And number two, and I think this is the most important reason, is because I would like to be with my dad. Yeah, medyo, I was so busy with my career, and then I forgot, tumatanda na pala yung dad ko. And during my time abroad, nag-pass away yung mother ko. So sabi ko na ako, ano ba to? Worth it ba tong malayo ako sa pamilya ko? So I came back here, and then now my dad lives with me, and me and my siblings, we take care of him. So I think that's number one reason. Pangalawa na lang itong bonus na ginagawa ko.
It's very important that you have quality time with your
Yes.
family as
I
well.
agree.
How do you spend time with your dad? Is
Yung
he a
kwento-
dentist also?
No.
Okay.
So kwentuhan lang lagi ng mga old days.
Mm.
Yeah, sa kanya ako nagmana ng live life to the fullest.
Paano mo
Yeah,
napili? I mean, were you given a choice what you wanted to study in college, or talagang sinabi niya,
Ang gusto ko talaga archaeology, pero sabi ng mother ko, dentist or medicine. Biro lang. Pero actually, I think kung buhay ang mom ko ngayon, she will definitely support me kahit anong decisions ko sa buhay ko. Pero during that time, inspired din kasi ako sa aunt ko. So, pag sabi ng mom ko na, okay, gusto mo mag-dentistry, sabi ko, okay.
so nakikita mo si tita na busy sa
Busy.
clinic, nag-a-assist ka na ba nun sa kanya?
Yes, naging
Nagsimulan
pasyente, pedo patient niya ako, pediatric
Oo.
patient sa CEU when she
Mm.
was there.
Oo.
Yeah, and yung pagiging business-minded niya, yung parang ikaw, ang napaka ano niya sa tao, napakadaling pakisamahan
Mm.
at saka maayos yung mga
Is she
gawa
still
niya.
practicing now?
Well, part-time na lang because she is already back home paminsan-minsan kasi she entered politics also. So, medyo pambihira na mag-practice ngayon. But I practice with her, and my cousin who is her daughter is practicing with me also, with us. So,
Mhm.
group practice kami.
Okay. Ano ba ang important na soft skill na hindi makikita o matututunan sa textbook pero essential to becoming a world-class endodontist like you?
Nako, alright, number one, of course, yung tinatawag natin na interpersonal skills natin, right?
Mhm.
To be people, you're likable, na you're likable, and people think that you're approachable. Kasi kahit kaano ka kagaling, if people don't like you, doesn't really matter. At saka, number two is yung critical thinking. I think importante as a doctor,
Mhm.
right? You're able to really put things together and just make a informed, evidence-based, and sensible clinical decision when it comes to patient care. Okay, and also yung tinatawag natin na vision.
Mhm.
You're able to see what you're doing and you're able to envision what's going to happen and
Mhm.
you make it work.
Mhm.
Kasi maraming tao na magagaling pero I'm not saying na ako excuse me, hindi naman ganun, pero I'm just saying na yun ang opinion ko,
Mhm.
that if you visualize something, or you're very good but you really cannot see, you cannot visualize what you're going to do in the future. Marami tayong mga ganyang mga weaknesses as humans.
Mhm.
So ngayon nga, 'di ba, uso sa Gen Z yung manifesting, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a skill which
Mhm.
you manifest something, you really look towards doing something and make it work for you,
Yes.
right?
Yung ine-encourage nga natin, everybody knows the what and the how,
Mm.
but the why are you
Yes.
doing it?
Right. The
So,
critical thinking part,
mm-mm.
the reasoning part,
Mhm.
the why, the what ifs, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you think dentistry has honed you to become a good person as well?
You cannot be a dentist, I think, if you're not a good person, kasi you are taking care of the sick.
Yeah.
So you really need to have that character, especially pag endodontist ka, right? Because we take care of a lot of people who are in pain. Yan ang tatak natin eh. Pag masakit ang ngipin, endodontist. So you have to listen, and sometimes para ka na ring therapist.
Aha.
Yung ngipin, marami na napagdaanan yan bago dumating sa amin, right? Sumakit, napastahan, na kung ano-anong nagawa, namaga, bago dumating sa amin. So, we really have to empathize with the patient, and it's not only that, we need to be very thorough and clear about our explanation to them on what we can do to help them. So, it takes a good character, I
Mhm.
think.
So these are the people that the patients really trust. A dentist with a heart. So I see it with Dr. Galicia that
Naku, salamat naman.
oo, na may care, 'di ba? Lahat naman ng dentist may care.
Mm.
Sabi nga ni Dr. Ryan dun sa dati naming pinag-usapan, you also have to have conviction,
Right.
right? So let's go now to fast talk. You will say yes or no,
Oh,
but a little
yeah.
explanation.
Okay,
Okay,
sure.
game, Doc?
All right.
Okay. So, kapag nag-root canal, pinapatay nyo ba talaga ang ipin?
No, bago ka namin i-root canal, patay na yung hindi ngipin ha, yung dental pulp. Hindi namamatay ang ngipin. Yung laman sa loob ng ngipin, patay na or mamamatay na. So, hindi kami nag-cause nun. It was already there. It was in its path of death na
Yeah.
before we managed that. And
Okay.
we bring it to life.
Mhm. Pwede bang magpa-root canal ang buntis? O kailangan ba sila magtiis
Yes.
bago magpa-root canal?
Yes, very critical ang pregnancy. Kailangan natin na ang pregnant woman should be healthy for herself and for her baby. Pag masakit yung ngipin, ibig sabihin, may active infection, we need to get rid of that. Okay? Kaya lang, we have to be sure that number one, we protect the baby and the mother, right? By using the right equipment, the right, understanding the medication that we use, the procedure that we do, para hindi magkaroon ng problema yung mom. Okay? Of course, may mga parts ng pregnancy na hindi po pwedeng, yung mga elective procedure, right? Pero yung emergency
Anesthesia,
procedure,
right?
yeah, we have to choose the right medication na hindi contraindicated sa unborn baby when we do the treatment.
May mga nagsasabi, delikado daw ang root canal dahil ugat ng ipin didiretso na sa utak at pwedeng umakyat ang infection doon habang ginagawa ang procedure.
Yes. Sabihin lang natin ngayon, alright, sa survey sa US, mga 20 million root canal treatments ang ginagawa every year. So, ibig sabihin, 20 million na tao ang may tililing or may problema sa utak because they did root canal treatment. I think that's, thank you for bringing that up. It's a misconception, okay? Ang katawan natin ay binubuo ng blood, ng dugo na nagsisirculate sa katawan. Pag kinamot natin yung ating skin sa talampakan natin, nasugatan ka, pumasok ang bacteria, kahit sa ang part ng katawan, papasok yan. So, ang purpose ng root canal is exactly the opposite. To take care of your body and to get rid of infection and inflammation. So, yon ang dapat nating i-focus sa mga pasyente.
Thank you, Dr. Jonah, for sharing your knowledge and skills. To a lot of Filipino dentists, I would like everyone to listen to him when he gives out workshops or talks.
Thank you.
In some of the societies here in the Philippines, dental societies here in the Philippines. So, if you would want to master the art of endodontics, with Dr. Jonah Galicia, he will be having workshops and classes also here at Safe Space. And also, you will be having talks all over the Philippines, like where,
In
Doc?
different provinces. So, we will be in Davao, Iloilo, Cebu, Cagayan de Oro. Okay,
Wow.
to a city near you.
Oo, sobrang busy ni Dr. Jonah eh. Marami siyang even in international seminars, you also go, 'di ba, Doc?
Fortunately,
Oo,
I was able
he
to
was
go.
he recently talked in China and what's the other ano ba?
Yeah, Taiwan. I was in
Okay. So
Australia
he's
a
all
couple
over.
couple
So
years ago.
I'm encouraging you guys to really listen to him because marami tayong matututunan. So hanggang sa muli, we will see you here at Safe Space
Thank
Connects.
you.
Thank you, Doc.
Thank you. Welcome.